I've mentioned in the past that this YouTube channel that you're watching right now is not my first YouTube channel and it's not my only YouTube channel. I currently run two other channels. I have one with my brother which has just under 200,000 subscribers, and I have another one which I just run myself which has about 100,000 subscribers. And as I've said before, I don't really want to reveal those channels quite yet. I might do someday, but right now I just quite like them being separate because just takes the pressure off me. With that said, I did ask you all in my last video if you'd be interested in hearing about my first YouTube channel, which I started in 2009, and that ended up hitting 100,000 subscribers in 2011. A lot of you left comments saying that you would be interested in hearing all about that and seeing what kind of content I used to make. So in this video, I'm going to be revealing that channel. I'll be showing you the kind of videos that I used to make. I'll be speaking about how much YouTube has changed over the past 14 years. I'll also be speaking about why that YouTube channel is one of my biggest regrets in life. I know it's not good to have regrets, I know it's not good to dwell on them or speak about them, but I do regret how I handled things, and I hope that by speaking about that, other people watching this video can avoid making similar mistakes as I did, and hopefully avoid having similar regrets. So I first started making YouTube videos 14 years ago in 2009, shortly after I turned 15 years old. Here's a picture of me from back then. I don't think I've changed very much. The Benjamin Button of clickbait. I wish I could tell you that the videos I made back at the start of my YouTube career were highbrow intellectual video essays about endangered tree frogs, but they were not. Instead, I made no-scope montages on the video game Call of Duty. I also made a series called Patchy Tuesdays, where I would do voiceovers on my gameplay and speak about hard-hitting hot topics every week. I actually made a musical intro for Patchy Tuesdays which ripped off the Happy Days theme tune, and whilst I'd like you to see it and hear it, I don't want to risk getting a copyright strike from Fonzie. As of right now, all of my old videos on this channel are set to private because I'm not too enthralled with the idea of having content that I created when I was 15 years old out in the open for all to see. I'm sure you can all understand that decision. In 2009, making money from gaming videos just wasn't a thing. YouTube refused to accept gaming creators into their partner program, so none of us got paid for our views. On top of that, no companies were interested in paying for sponsored videos, so you couldn't make money through that avenue either. I remember at one point I got sponsored by a very popular gaming headset brand and was making videos for them which were sometimes breaking the 100,000 view mark, and in return they would give me a free headset worth $70. Now I don't mean that to sound ungrateful, there's nothing better than getting a freebie, but in today's world of YouTube, if you're able to bring in 100,000 views on a sponsored video, you'll be getting $2,000 or $3,000 from that sponsor. So because of all of this, for the first year and a half of making these videos, even though I was getting millions of views, I was making no money. Although myself and the other gaming creators of that era, if you want to call it that, didn't really expect to make money from it. We all just made the videos because we enjoyed making them. By the end of 2010, things began to change with YouTube and they started accepting gaming creators into their partner program, which meant I could start making money from my views. At that point in time, I was 16 and was just going into my final year of high school. I had about 50,000 subscribers tuning into the hard-hitting discussions featured on Patchy Tuesdays every week, and I was making about $1,000 a week. The only job I'd had before this was a paper round, which paid me £5 a week. So it was quite a big step up in the world for Patchy Incorporated. Over the course of the next year, I did the bare minimum at school and instead focused on making my montages and episodes of Patchy Tuesdays. I also started another series called Patchy's Top Plays, where people could send in their Call of Duty clips every week to have them featured on my channel. It was kind of like America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, but for nerds. Things continued to go well, my channel kept growing, and in late 2011 I finally hit 100,000 subscribers. Then I decided to quit. Looking back, I really have no idea why I decided to quit. I didn't have any other plans, I didn't have a job, and at that point I wasn't even pursuing any kind of further education. I don't think I had a grasp on reality, and I certainly didn't have an understanding of the opportunity that had been in front of me. I just decided that I wasn't enjoying making videos anymore, so rather than persevering or switching up the kind of content that I was making, I just gave up. In the years that followed, I began paying attention to some of the guys that I'd come up with in the gaming niche and saw them go on to achieve insane success. For example, one of the creators that came up around the same time as me was a guy called Alistair, or Ali A. When I hit 50,000 subscribers, I remember him messaging me asking if I had any tips on how to grow his channel. I don't think I had any good advice for him, but he had about 20,000 subscribers at the time. He continued with the YouTube grind, innovated with his content, and as of today, he now has 18.5 million subscribers. A few years after I quit YouTube, Ali A landed a brand deal with a company called Matheson's, who make these little bags of chicken strips called Fridge Raiders. On every bag of these Fridge Raiders, they were running a promotion where you could win a chance to play Call of Duty with Ali A. I had to close my eyes going down the cheese aisle at the supermarket for a while because the Fridge Raiders were always right next to the cheese, and I didn't want those little chicken strips to be judging me for my life choices. I was also friends with and actually had a joint channel with a guy called Zerka, which we built to around 40,000 subscribers. After I quit, we sold the channel for a measly $500, and Zerka went on to co-found the Sidemen Collective, which has done insanely well. For quite a few years, I beat myself up about what a wasted opportunity this all was. I had been able to crack 100,000 subscribers so early on in YouTube's lifetime, and I just didn't take advantage of it. Seeing these other guys take that exact same opportunity and make the most of it caused me to feel quite a bit of guilt. Just living with the knowledge that if I'd stuck with it, I could have easily taken care of everyone around me, and not to mention saved so many endangered tree frogs if I just hadn't made that ridiculous decision to quit. So fast forward to today, I now try to see that whole experience as a valuable life lesson. It taught me that once you get a bit of success from something that you've worked hard for, it doesn't mean you can take your foot off the pedal. Instead, you should really fight to retain that same hunger and work ethic that got you there in the first place. It also taught me that you shouldn't be afraid to try other things. Back in 2011, I believed that I had to keep making the same videos that I always had and not do anything different. I now realize that that's just not a very creative approach to being a creator. I think that's why I make such a weird mixture of videos on this channel now. One week I'm ripping out a kitchen with my dad, the next week I'm trying out Einstein's daily routine, and then the next week I'm telling you all about how I was legitimately haunted by packets of sponsored chicken. I am conscious that there have been weeks at a time where I haven't uploaded on this channel, so I am really trying to get better with that. I don't want to make the same mistake I did before by not appreciating the opportunity that is currently in front of me right now. Coming back to my old channel, I've been thinking about possibly reviving it at some point in the future, but I'm not sure in what capacity. One thing I'd like to do at some point is start streaming on Twitch, and that channel could be a good place to re-upload highlight clips. I've also considered making it a more business-focused channel where I post videos strictly about making money online and in general, or I could try something completely out of the box and maybe start making those elusive highbrow tree frog videos. I'm sure I'll settle on one idea at some point, and I'll be sure to keep you all updated on that. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate you taking 2 seconds to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Oh, and I'll put the cake recipe I used in the description box below.